Is this question good enough to be in the Q&A? No. Should there be a blah blobber scope? Yes. As someone who uses the blah blobber, how often do you sleep at night? I sleep perfectly. I sleep like a baby. I have a beautiful 6 to 8 hours every single night. Thank you so much for asking. What is your favorite Splatoon that is not yourself? Okay, so sometimes it just depends on the day and the mood that I'm in. Some day I'm in the mood for memes, some days I'm in the mood for just editing. It depends on the day. I don't necessarily have a specific favorite, but some of the people I watch most consistently are Corey Kenshin, Dashy Games. In Splatoon related, I watch like VNJ, Ninja and Mosh. I don't have a specific favorite. It just depends on the day. There's many more out there too. What do you think will be a great special for Splatoon 3 old and new? As an Octoshot main, I would love my babe Bazooka back. And new, I'd probably like a giant wall like you see in Overwatch. I think there's like Symmetra's ultimate. I like to see something like very unique that stands out from the others in a huge way. What made you start playing Splatoon? Okay, so at first I thought Splatoon was like this corny game, but I did end up getting it in like June of 2015. I first started watching Zach Scott's gameplays and especially the online portion of it. I thought it was really fun and I wanted to try it out for myself. What's your soda preference? Sprite. The carbonation, it's just... What is your favorite and least favorite single player levels on each single player campaign, Splatoon 1, 2, and Octo expansion? My favorite for each one of them is probably the final boss battles. I love all of those. They're very hyped up and very colorful, and I just love the music especially. And the least favorite for Splatoon 1, I have no freaking clue. For Splatoon 2, it's probably that one thing, I'll probably show gameplay of it. It's that one thing to where no platform is just freaking stable and everything is just moving from under you. It really angered me, man. And Octo expansion, it was probably Girl Power Station. A lot, like some people like just have beginner's luck on it, but for me, Do you plan on making more special Splatoon series or going back to Splatoon 1? I have many Splatoon 2 ideas planned. Not all of them may make it to production. And Splatoon 1, I might make Splatoon 1 in 2019, Splatoon 2 2020 videos. Just little cool things exploiting what Splatoon 1 had to offer. What's your favorite food? Pizza? Probably hamburgers. Hamburgers. Just... everything is in a hamburger and I just love it. Have you played any other major Switch games? Breath of the Wild, Xenoblade 2, etc. I've actually played a lot of the major Switch games. I played Super Mario Odyssey, I played Breath of the Wild, I played Sonic Forces. But my favorite game on the Switch, I play Splatoon 2 by far the most on the Switch, but my favorite game on the Switch is, like, by a mile, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. If you need something to do over the summer, especially if, like, you're a kid and bored, I highly recommend Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I did not grind, I did not do any form of grinding in Xenoblade 2, and I still managed to take 65 hours to beat that game. If you could create a Splatfest, what would the theme be? My theme would probably be Squid Sisters versus Off the Hook, because it'll be a nice Splatoon 1 versus Splatoon 2 thing, and as much as I love Marina, I'd probably go with Marie just because I respect Marie. Marie's personality is a lot like my own, and yeah, I really like Marie. Oh yeah, and this one's just tagging a lot. If you could make one weapon that would go into Splatoon 3, what would it be and what kind of specials, subs, etc. would it have? Well, Splatoon 3 weapon, I'd probably come up with another shooter. I have no clue what type of shooter I would like. In subs, I would probably make a sub to where the sub would stick onto the opponent until you press a button and then it explodes. And the special, I'd probably make it that little wall thing that I mentioned earlier. I really feel like that wall could be a cool little thing that you include in Splatoon. Have you ever played in a Splatoon 2 tournament and are you part of a team? I'm not part of a team, but I have played in online Splatoon 2 tournaments for little eShop codes. What other famous Splatoon do you plan to do a collab with? The top of my list will probably be people like Eds, VNJ, I've already been in a stream with like a Squidman, Bookie, Skull, and I've been able to like talk to Vic and Vasco before. So, V and Ets and J will probably be at the top of my list in terms of people that I haven't already been able to collab with. Q&A question, salsa or guacamole? Salsa. Will you ever play a Mother series or Earthbound game? Probably. If one comes to the Switch, I'd be interested and I'd probably play it. Why do you like astronomy? I love astronomy because just like stars and galaxies and planets are all so beautiful. Just even if you don't know a clue about astronomy, they're so beautiful to look at. Like honestly, they're some of the most beautiful things you could ever see in this world. And the addition of just seeing how big these galaxies are, like knowing that they're hundreds of light years across, and the fact that light, like you guys know how fast light travels, like from the sun to here. So just all that stuff basically is just, it's so fun and fascinating to learn about. Is there somewhere where I can send you fan art? If so, where can I? My Twitter account, that's probably the most available thing. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, if you haven't. and I'm very available on Twitter. My notifications don't blow up that much on Twitter, so I'll be able to see pretty much anything you guys send me on Twitter. Which weapon in Splatoon 2 looks most aesthetically pleasing to you? No. Probably the gold dynamo probably looks the most aesthetically pleasing. Just the fact that a freaking I think it's like 1,000 kilogram roller is freaking made out of gold. It's so hilarious, and it's just so beautiful at the same time. What would you recommend to smaller YouTubers to keep an engaged audience? The first thing I do is make sure you reply to your comments. The second thing I do is make sure you reply to your comments. And the third thing I do is just try to maybe feature them in videos. I know your sub count's small, but anyone you can get, just try to like make sure they feel like family to your channel in a way. Also, what's your favorite series outside Splatoon? That would probably be the Mario series. Do you play Pokemon? Favorite Pokemon game? I do play Pokemon, and my favorite Pokemon game... my favorite Pokemon game is probably Pokemon X. I know, shut up, Pokemon fans. I know Pokemon X is probably one of the most hated games in the whole series, but I just like it because, you know, when it's just like your first time trying something and your first time's probably your favorite time, that's probably my experience with X. I also played Platinum, I played Ultra Sun, I played I played Alpha Sapphire. No relation to my name, and X is still probably one of my favorites. Do you watch anime or read the Splatoon manga? By the way, congrats on 10k, thank you. I don't watch much anime, not really at all. The closest thing was probably like the Pokemon anime, I guess. And the Splatoon manga, never seen it, but I'd like to just take a little peek at it. What would you rate your personal skill level in Splatoon? Now, a lot of people like to sleep on me. I'm not like freaking the SRB2 dude. I wouldn't give myself like a freaking 10. I'd probably say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give myself a solid 8. What editor do you use? Okay, so basically everything from the Splatoon 2 Squid vs. Octopus montage onward, I used Vegas Pro 15, which is a great editor, but if you're looking for a cheaper alternative, I used WeVideo from that video, the video before that and below, to make my videos, and those were actually the most popular videos, ironically. When did you start doing YouTube? Did you start off with Splatoon or another game? I started wanting to do all Nintendo games, but even back then, like even from 2016, Splatoon 2 was always like the shining popular one, and I started YouTube back in 2016 and still kicking. Do you think there will be only 2 more Splatfests? Yes, I do, because they said it will end in July. And do you think they'll have more after? The next ones will probably be in Splatoon 3. What are your hopes for the channel by the end of 2019? I really just don't have much of a goal. Maybe 15, 20,000, I don't know. Second being, who is your favorite Splatoon? I don't really have a favorite, but I have a lot of people that I watch consistently. And third, what is your most wanted feature in Splatoon 3? There's a few. I don't have like one pinpoint one, but I hope they look off of other more established shooters so they can make Splatoon 3 like... yeah. What do you like to do in your spare time aside from YouTube? I like to game. I like to... I don't really hang out with friends much outside school, just because I'm like an outlier and I'm already introverted as it is. So I like to play games a lot. I just like to be very to myself. I like to have a little bit of peace and quiet when I get off of school. And yeah. What time do you wake up? On weekdays when I have school, I probably wake up around like 5:30 to 6:30. That's a wide range. That just shows how organized I am. And on weekends, I probably wake up around, I'll just say no later than 10 a.m. What is your favorite color? My favorite color is... Can you tell? Can you tell? Can you tell? It's kind of pink. What weapon do you hate the most and why? Ooh, I probably I can't stand Brellas. Just as an NZAP main and as a blah blah. Well, actually, blah blah actually helps me. But as an NZAP user and a shooter mainly user, Brellas give me anxiety. What is your favorite movie or book? I don't read that much, but I am reading this new book called Ready Player One. To me, it's new at least. And my favorite movie would probably be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Great movie if you haven't already checked it out. I haven't seen Endgame yet, and I probably don't care to see it. But those are probably my 2. Are you planning to stay on YouTube or leave in the future? I'm planning to stay on YouTube for as long as I can. It's gonna remain a hobby of mine for a good while. What is your favorite candy? It's probably a tie between Kit Kats and Hershey's milk chocolate bars. I'd have to lean towards milk chocolate bars. What other game systems do you have? Also, how... I can't decipher that second part. I have 2 Nintendo Wiis, a Nintendo Wii U, a Nintendo Switch, an Xbox One S. I used to have an Xbox 360. I used to have a DS, and I have a Nintendo 3DS. Who inspired you to want to make YouTube videos? Probably just a mix of different people and the different way they edit videos. And what is your favorite thing about Splatoon? Probably, actually no, definitely the community. You guys are probably one of the most inviting communities I've ever been in, at least from my perspective, and it's just fun interacting with you guys. If you could choose 3 other Splatooners to be on a pro team with you, who would they be? The SRB2 dude, I'm not gonna cheat and include 3 competitive players. The SRB2 dude will be my 1 competitive player. Etz, because he's good, he's a special 10 umbrella user. He's my favorite 10 umbrella main, and Fantastic because that man is a mean one in Splatoon. Like, if you actually get to play him, he's actually a mean one in Splatoon. What color is your oh my gosh, here we go again. Honestly, I've gotten so many questions asking me, like, toothbrush, toothpaste related questions. What is with y'all on my dental hygiene? Like, what? Alright, let's go check. Let's see. Green. It's green. It's green. Will you ever go back to making Pokemon sort of content? And by that I mean any type of Pokemon content. Perhaps when the new Pokemon game comes out, Pokemon Sword and Shield, I might perhaps, like, play little bits and pieces of those on my channel, but Pokemon probably not. If you had to, would you take a team of bamboozlers for all your games? Oh, if I had to? Oh, that would be a pain. That would be a painful 5 minutes. Do you have any pets, and if so, what's their name, and can we see a pic? I have a dog, her name is Shara, and post-editing, here, there's a pic. She's cute, isn't she? Do you like K-pop? Really only 1 song, which was like the little KDA thing from League of Legends, if that even freaking counts. But other than that, not the biggest fan of K-pop. What new Octoling hairstyles would you like to see added to Splatoon 2? You know that little flat top from the 80s? I'd like to see that added to Splatoon 2. Just 1 giant block tentacle. That would be so hilarious to see in the battlefield. Tell me, how do you manage to speak so fast without mistaking? A lot of times in videos, it's because I read, like, 1 paragraph for the 10th time because I have many mess-ups. And even questions like these, a lot of the time I cut out a lot of my stutters. And this one is actually a second take, actually. But, it's just, it comes pretty naturally, eventually, when you're reading the same thing for the 10th time. Do you have any tips for climbing ranks? Use the blah blah. Just try to be careful, think mindfully, don't run into the battle. Don't run into the battle and get yourself killed the same way you did 5 seconds ago. Just be mindful and know what you're doing in the battlefield. Always stay 3 steps ahead of your opponent. If you could be in any video game, which one would you pick? Probably the Splatoon universe. It seems fun just being like careless teenagers in a freaking game where you just play paintball for the entire day and get currency off of that, no less. And also, it just feels fun to hang out with other peeps, like other squids and octos. How do you deal with hate comments? Okay, hate comments, basically I just ignore and block the person if, like, the comment's vulgar enough. Basically, I just ignore them because in my world, life is too long and too prosperous, like potentially prosperous, for you to deal with some random dude in freaking East Germany. I don't know where I came up with East Germany, but some random dude in East Germany just hating on you for absolutely no reason, whether it be your voice, whether it be just the stupidest thing. Like, it's not worth your time. So you just ignore, block the person, and move on to the people who are actually loving you. What's your opinion on Marvel and Avengers? Actually, one of my friends was starting to get me into Marvel a little bit because I watched the Spider-Verse movie with him. But, I don't watch movies that religiously. Not just Marvel. I don't watch movies in general that religiously. A lot of my entertainment time is actually on YouTube now. Who do you think is Mr. Grizz? Okay, did you think I was joking in that Splatoon stereotypes video? I still think Mr. Grizz is a freaking sea bear from SpongeBob SquarePants. Fight me. Like, my logic is unparalleled. What advice would you give to small YouTubers? Look up mini tutorials about, like, how to rank in analytics and all that junk. Too much to explain. And also just be in it for fun more than anything else. And how do you record on the Switch? I use an Elgato HD60. You need a powerful enough computer for it to actually function properly. And a really good computer for it to stream properly. So, an Elgato probably costs like a good $100 or so with a little bit of a change. What memes do you like? I really like a lot of memes. None really crack me up that much. They're just funny to look at. Like, they give me like a nice little chuckle. But the latest meme that I've really been looking into is the "aw shoot, here we go again" meme. Because, can we be honest here? Of all the memes, that's by far one of the most relatable, straightforward, and hilarious memes out there. Do you know any other languages or want to learn one? I am not really fluent in Spanish just because I take Spanish 2 in high school. Yo quiero hablar español. Probably Spanish speakers are gonna murder me. Anyway, I speak kinda sorta Spanish. I'd like to learn more about it and to speak it more correctly. and I can barely speak English. And I'd also love to learn maybe at least one Asian language and French. That would be very interesting for me to learn. Introvert or extrovert? I am a clear selective introvert, because what happens is with family I try to act introverted and like immature in a kind of way. With people I don't know or just like acquaintances, I act very like reserved to myself. But really it's only with close friends that I manage to act like an extrovert, act like the person I basically am on the internet. And basically if you want to see how I basically act with friends, like how I bond with friends, like pretty much the same way I evolved on my channel is how I were to evolve with a friend. I start off quiet, and then I were to get louder and just more like, more obnoxious, no, more like me. Do you support smaller, still growing Splatoon channels? Yes I do. I try to find as many as I can. I try to pop in streams when I can. I'm more of a lurker for a lot of channels than like an active commenter and sharer. But I like to watch content, I like to comment sometimes, and I don't really consider them, I'm considered them more friends in small channels, but I also like to chill with my buds at the house, and I love to play with them and help them grow too, because they all deserve it. Did you leave the toilet seat up, Alpha? No! What's your favorite type of music or favorite band? My favorite band at the moment is probably Imagine Dragons, and my favorite type of music is actually R&B music. I love just the rap, in my opinion. Like, I know, especially being a teen, a lot of teens love rap, but for me it's like, other than the beat of rap, rap is just complete and utter nonsense to me. Country just does not flow correctly to me, and R&B, it's so perfect. From the 70s music to the like most recent R&B, it's so good. It's just such a jammer, and I can listen to it again and again and again and just love it more and more. Do you anticipate running this channel into adulthood, and if so, do you think you'd try to make it your main focus or just a hobby? YouTube has never been a main focus for me. I probably might change when I become an adult and start working, but it's always been a hobby for me. Maybe make a little bit of change on the side. I've wanted to like have a professional job in some kind of science or technology, but I do anticipate running this channel into my adulthood just for fun. No clue where this channel's gonna take turns, but yeah, I plan on doing it into adulthood. You get 10,000 bucks for 10,000 subs. What's the first thing you do? Like, this is the corniest answer. This is the most nerd answer, but I'd invest it. You heard me. What's your screaming? Yeah. What's your screaming schedule? That makes sense. What's your streaming schedule? My streaming schedule, I don't have one. I'm just like, alright folks, we're just gonna stream today. Like, no plan, just, if a Saturday or Friday or Sunday I'm bored, I'm just like, let's stream. What series do you think helped grow your channel the most? That is a clear answer. It's how Splatoon 2 players see. Splatoon 2 stereotypes inside the mind kind of piggybacked off of that series a little bit, but the first 1,000, 2,000 of you that showed up out of complete and utter nowhere, that was all from how Splatoon 2 players see. And I feel like this is a minor algorithm thing, probably, because in 2018, YouTube was in love with freaking Fortnite. So imagine, like, the mixture of me doing Fortnite, Splatoon 2 being only so popular, a Fortnite vs. Splatoon video already being out, and the fact that those videos are kind of popular, the parody videos are kind of popular. I feel like all those and just some other things kind of mixed together and just created this beautiful channel baby boom. What is your favorite pet peeve? Favorite pet peeve is like saying the favorite thing that you hate. My favorite pet peeve would probably be, it's more of a funny thing to me, but I always am like, oh, like if I'm in a group, I'm always like, oh, group, hi, help me so much, yeah, I need help, blah, 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 blah. And then the moment they try to help me and the moment they do something wrong, I just interrupt them and be like, don't touch that, my way. It's kind of like one of my more hypocritical things. It's not really a favorite pet peeve, it's just a funny pet peeve that I like looking back on in hindsight. What flavor toothpaste do you— oh my god, Squidman, what is with you and your people all in my dental hygiene? It's mint, by the way. It's mint. Do you still have enough free time for yourself? Kinda, sorta, not really. I've been getting busier and busier as of late, but I try to spare a moment to just be able to breathe, kind of. And I try and make time for my free self to just do whatever the heck I want to do. Who do I main most in Smash Ultimate Greninja, and who do I want to be the next DLC? That will probably be any kind of Sonic character, like Sakurai. Just freaking put Jim Carrey from the just put Jim Carrey from the Sonic movie in Smash. Like, humor the Sonic, like humor the makers of the Sonic movie. Humor Paramount Pictures and Sega, please. Do you have any opinions on streaming or making videos of your reactions or things like directs? I would probably, it's not the top of my list to stream directs, but I guess I could try it out here and there. I have a positive opinion of it. I like watching direct streams. They're very fun. If you love the Bloblobber so much and it was for some reason removed, what would be your next go-to weapon? Oh, I'm taking revenge, baby. We're going with the Clash Blaster. Clash blasting, boys, here we come. What Nintendo game do you remember having precious memories of while growing up? Contrary to what people like to think, I love the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Like well, except the first one. Every single one, especially London 2012. I hope that like in 2020, they just perfect the, like, I wish they just go back to what London did right. Because in my opinion, in my humble opinion, London was probably the best Olympic Games yet, and I still like to come back to that game 7 years later and just play it for complete and utter. There's nothing I've even been doing in that game. I just mess around in some of the games. Can you show us your art? I've been waiting to see your art skills. Just saying, yeah, you don't want to. It's like if I actually tried, I could probably make something decent. But the thing is, I don't have the patience, so I just scribble something in 5 minutes, and they're best being under lock and key, and the hard drive should probably be burned that they're on. Do you plan to go to any conventions in the future where your fans can meet you? Not in the near future, but perhaps once this channel is more established, I could try to do that in the future. What plans did you have for life before YouTube? Come home, do your daily 7 to 3 in freaking school, come home, relax, chill, and just continue to be the introvert that I am, being 1, an introvert, and 2, living like 30 minutes away from the rest of my friends. So yeah, just continue to chill at home. What are your favorite types of videos to make? I like making videos like how Splatoon 2 players see, Splatoon 2 stereotypes, and Inside the Mind, because I like scripting the videos. I find like funny jokes in scripting the videos, and it's just funny seeing you guys' reactions to like the different things I say in the videos. Out of this whole time of growing your channel, what did you expect and not expect? I did expect eventually, no clue when, but I did expect maybe getting at least, at most, probably like 5,000 subscribers. Like, I expected no more than like 5,000. I was hoping for maybe like 2,000 to 3,000. And leading on that, I did not expect 10,000 showing out of nowhere. Especially in like, I'm pretty sure like 10,000 you came in like less than the past year. How does it feel having so much popularity in the community at the moment, and to make it harder, why? It still feels weird. Cause like, I'd go to streams and like, if I go to a Splatoon stream by, like, you name a Splatoon, I don't know, freaking Vian, freaking Yoshi Monster, freaking, Vic, I'd always get just no, it's like, hey, Alpha, like, within, like, the first 20 seconds of me typing, hey, XYZ, and then they just say, hi, Alpha, and I'm like, oh, hi. Like, oh, hi, you know me, I'm a person, cool. How long does it take you to edit a video? User montages probably take about, like, 8 to 10 hours to make, and, Inside the Mind in those videos, they probably take like a good, between, just editing alone probably takes a good like 4 to 6 hours to make. And what place in the world would you love to go? I would love to go to either the UK or Canada. What is your favorite planet? That would be Saturn. I love Saturn's rings. It's just a gorgeous, I love how creamy Saturn looks. It just looks so creamy and safe despite the fact that it's not creamy and safe. After you did the Fortnite vs Splatoon vid, did you ever actually consider playing Fortnite? Maybe not constantly, but pretty often. Maybe on the back burner. I had actually started playing Fortnite before it was popular, like late season 1 to season 2, because I saw one of Jay's videos on Fortnite, but never consistently. And after like the backlash that one of those videos in particular got, I just decided, you know what, just gonna stick to Splatoon, because Fortnite kind of scared me away from the community a little bit. And the very last question from Jammin, this is the same person I ended on last time. What is your favorite part about being a YouTuber? My favorite part is you guys. My favorite part is interacting with you all. My favorite part is just messing with y'all. And my favorite part is just making, again, I'm by no means the best editor. I'm by no means the best streamer. I feel like I'm by no means, in a lot of ways, I'm just here. I'm just doing the same thing I've been doing for 3 freaking years. And yet, in the last year especially, 10,000 people just decided to just click the sub button. To go from 200 to 10,000. So like I said, I appreciate it. You guys are probably my favorite part, just interacting with you guys, learning new things. I'm trying to just slowly work my way up. And yeah, that's all the questions I have. what new things did you learn about me? I guess you can make a comment about that. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe to Alphastar716 for more content on Splatoon 2, Nintendo, and other things gaming. See you all next time.